Who would have thought that a simple grammar rule could tell the incredible story of the food on your plate? Today, we're going to uncover a silent revolution. And the key to understanding it? Well, it's hidden in the way we build our sentences. Let's see how. Okay, take a look at this number. 1.4 hours. Doesn't seem like much, does it? But I'm telling you, this single figure represents one of the most dramatic shifts in modern history. The big question is, a shift in what exactly?
And boom, here's your answer. Back in 1945, it took 16 hours of labor to raise 100 chickens. Today, it takes just 1.4 hours. That is an absolutely astonishing leap in efficiency. We're talking a reduction of more than 90%. Just let that sink in for a second. This one change has completely reshaped our world, and honestly, it happened almost without us even noticing.
Yeah, this is what we mean by farming's silent revolution. And to really wrap our heads around the technology, the debates, and the future of our food, we have to master the language used to describe it. It all starts with getting the basics right.
So, let's start right here. Which word feels right? Remains or remain? Now, choosing the correct one isn't just about passing some grammar test. It's about making a clear, powerful statement. And the tool we use to make that choice? It's the very foundation of clear communication. And that tool is the language code we all learn but, sometimes forget. Subject-Verb Agreement. It's the invisible framework that makes our sentences actually work, and we're going to use it to decode the entire story of the modern farm. It sounds fancy, but it's actually a super simple and powerful rule. The subject, that's the main actor of the sentence, has to match the verb, the action. So if the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. If the subject is plural, yep, you guessed it, the verb has to be plural too. And here you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Just notice how the verb changes depending on the subject. He takes, but they take. She is, but they are. It was ripe, but they were ripe. It's a simple little pattern, right? And once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. So let's apply this code back to the farm. All right, welcome to the high-tech harvest. Farming today is this incredible world of data, science, and mind-blowing machinery. Let's use our new grammar skills to explore how these advancements powered that insane drop from 16 hours down to just over 1.
Okay, time for a quick pop quiz. Look at this sentence. Is it performs or perform? Remember the rule. Find the subject first. Who or what is doing the action in this sentence?
If you said perform, you nailed it. The subject is computers, which is plural, so it needs the plural verb perform. And these computers perform all sorts of tasks, from automating irrigation systems to tracking weather patterns and even monitoring the health of individual animals. It's amazing.
And it's not just computers. Look at how this works across the board. Plural fertilizers, they keep. Plural seeds, they yield. But then look, the singular science has been, and the singular pest control has reduced. Each sentence is like a perfectly balanced machine, just like the farms they're describing.
So all this new tech isn't just changing how we farm, it's actually changing what we farm. Let's take a look at some of the new foods that are ending up on our dinner plates, and some of them might just surprise you.
Okay, another one for you. What's the right choice here, are or is? Now this one can be a little tricky. Just remember to focus on the true subject of the sentence. The correct answer is, but why? Because the subject isn't actually beefalo, it's the singular word product. One product is beefalo. And yeah, it's a real thing. It's a cross between a cow and the American bison. Just one example of how farming innovation is creating entirely new foods. And believe me, the menu gets even more interesting. Farmers, plural, raise alligators. People, plural, enjoy alligator meat. And future supermarket shelves, plural, might hold ostrich. See? Each of these sentences, describing a very different kind of dinner, follows that exact same fundamental grammar rule. It's everywhere.
But this revolution isn't without its controversies. The shift to high-efficiency, large-scale farming has kicked off a huge debate. And this is where precise language becomes absolutely critical for understanding all the different points of view.
So this slide really lays out the two big things happening. On one hand, large corporations are getting into farming. So we'd say, large corporations have purchased many farms. Plural subject, plural verb. Simple enough. But on the other hand, the total number of farms is going down. Now here the grammar is a little tricky. The sentence is, the number of farms grows smaller.
The subject isn't farms, it's the singular word number. The number grows smaller. See how grammar lets us state these complex facts with absolute precision?
And this precision totally shapes the debate. Supporters will say that this practice is beneficial. Singular subject, singular verb. On the other side, critics, or others, that's a plural subject. They think it hurts the small farmer. The grammar structures each argument perfectly, so we can understand both sides clearly without any confusion.
And this chart really just paints a picture of what those sentences describe. The number of small farms is shrinking, while corporate influence is growing. See? Clear language and clear data, they work hand in hand. When you get the grammar, you can better interpret the story the data's telling you.
So, how can you make sure your own language is always this clear? Just use this simple 3-step check. It's fail-proof. First, find the real subject. Second, ask yourself, is it singular or plural? And third, just make sure your verb matches. That's it. That's the whole code.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Now we know, with total certainty, why it's remains. The subject, agriculture, is a single concept. It's singular. So, the verb has to be singular too. Agriculture remains vital. It just clicks.
We've just used grammar to understand a massive revolution in how we produce our food, but it leaves us with one final and pretty profound question. This whole story of efficiency, technology, and debate is, at its heart, a human story. As our farms get more and more efficient, what becomes of the farmer? That's something to think about.